At what cost?
Ford frustrated. Ontario's premier calling for Canadians to boycott Chinese EVs.
Support companies that are building vehicles here.
No way to four ways.
The whole point of having hazards is if you are the hazard.
OPP warn of the winter hazard. And taking a moment for mental health.
We need to have accessible programs for people who are struggling.
A look at local resources on Bell Let's Talk Day.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on CTV Windsor and AM 800. Strong words from Ontario's Premier today as he, Labour leaders and auto industry stakeholders trash-talked the trade deal reached between Canada and China, warning it could have serious consequences for our auto sector, even going so far as to say we're all in the fight of our lives. To unpack the news conference called at Queen's Park today, we turn to CTV's Chris Campbell tonight. Chris.
Yes, Stephanie, the Premier, along with industry and Labour leaders, say they're disappointed the federal government didn't consult them before reaching a deal that would allow tens of thousands of Chinese-made electric vehicles into Canada each year, cautioning the agreement could see job loss and factory shutdown.
We are in the fight of our lives here.
Canada's auto sector is raising alarm after a federal trade deal with China that will allow up to 49,000 Chinese-made electric vehicles into the country each year. Industry leaders, labour groups, and Ontario's Premier say they were not consulted, warning the move could threaten jobs, investment, and the future of domestic vehicle manufacturing.
The federal government's decision to open the Canadian market to Chinese EVs is deeply concerning.
The Canadian Vehicle Manufacturers Association says Canada's auto industry depends on secure access to the U.S. market and argues diversification is not realistic.
Diversification is not an option for automotive. Canada's market alone is too small to justify large-scale manufacturing.
Auto parts manufacturers say the deal undercuts protections put in place to seed electric vehicle investment in North America.
Making that concession in this moment makes the entire Canadian auto sector on shakier ground.
APMA President Flavio Volpe warns the scale of the deal could quickly ripple through the industry.
50,000 cars is about a shift at an auto plant. And a shift is 1,000 workers. It might be 5,000 supplier workers.
Labour leaders say workers fear a repeat of past trade deals that led to plant closures and job losses.
Auto workers are extremely worried about their future.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford says the province, Labour, and industry are united in calling for a Team Canada approach, wanting the feds to drop their EV mandate and the fees around building or buying the vehicles.
We're sending a united message about the need to stand up in defense of Canada's economy.
Ford says he was disappointed the Prime Minister did not consult him or industry leaders before reaching the new China deal, urging Ontarians to boycott Chinese-made vehicles.
Boycott the Chinese EV vehicles. Support companies that are building vehicles here. It's as simple as that. This is a Team Canada approach. We got to stick together.
The federal government has said the deal reflects a need to diversify trade partners as the United States reshapes its trade relationship with Canada. Ford noted he and other Canadian premiers are meeting with Prime Minister Carney next Wednesday. Ford says it's then he plans to hear what the national plan is to protect Ontario's auto workers. Stephanie?
Okay, thank you for this, Chris. Now, of course, this is a conversation with huge potential to impact our area. So we wanted to know how those at the heart of the story feel about what we heard today. Here's what some had to say at Windsor Assembly.
I mean, it's a little troubling, because we make an EV here. We have the big battery plant there. You want it to be bought from here, and you want it to be bought in a Canadian market. So bringing Chinese here for half the price, half the quality, people are going to buy them, obviously, and that's going to affect our jobs. I mean, we are fighting for our lives. Like, I just purchased a house, and I'm worried about that and growing a family and all that. When, we work here, and you got Chinese, and you got the tariffs from Trump and all that trying to take our economy away, and it's unfair.
Hey, if they want to build Chinese cars here, I think they should manufacture them like Honda and Toyota instead of just trying to sell their cars here. At least open up jobs in manufacturing for auto workers and create jobs for Canadians.
The Premier also touching again today on the closure of Diageo's Amherstburg plant. He was asked how his repeated call for a Team Canada approach fits with his decision to ban the sale of Diageo products, a move other provincial leaders have warned could hurt production in Saskatchewan and Quebec. The Premier saying those leaders would be making the same call if the job losses were happening in their own provinces.
Well, of course, they're asking me to change my mind because find out what would happen if Crown Royal closed their plants and go down to Alabama. As simple as that. But I gave an olive branch to Diageo, and Diageo are the owners of Crown Oil. Show me a plan that's going to replace those jobs, and then we're good. But you can't take jobs out of a small town in Ontario that's been around for 100 years and say, come and support me.
Turning now to a common move in bad weather, one many drivers swear by. Maybe you saw it on your blizzard-like drive to work this morning, someone driving with their four-ways or hazard lights on. Provincial police say don't do that. As CTV's Sanjay Maru explains, they say it could actually be doing more harm than good.
It did not take long for our cameras to catch a driver losing control during the snowy and slippery morning commute. And in weather like this, another common sight, drivers turning on their four-way flashers while still moving, hoping to warn others to be more cautious. When you're driving through really snowy weather, do you put your hazard lights on?
Absolutely, because other drivers need to be aware of where you are, and it's hard to see, right? So if we know where we are on the road, then other people know where you are.
I saw people using their four-ways on Highway 3. It looks like you're slowing down.
Does it confuse you when you see people do it?
Yes, very much so.
That confusion is exactly why Ontario Provincial Police say using your hazard lights while driving is not recommended.
The whole point of having hazards is if you are the hazard. The common misconception is you're just driving a little bit slower or whatnot. That can confuse people who actually believe you are stopped or something is ahead.
But that's not the only point of confusion. Let's start by putting on our hazard lights. Now let's say I want to turn right, so I'm going to put my signal on to indicate to other drivers that I want to do just that. Absolutely no visual difference whatsoever.
It's a main focus that we're all kind of slowed down. The four ways is for like something I'm doing so everyone else notices.
I just drive like normal and kind of just more cautious and slower, but I don't put the four-ways on. No, I've never done that.
So other than instances where your vehicle is stopped and blocking a live lane, when should you activate your hazard lights?
If there is some sort of obstruction in front of you and you're warning people and you're slowing down to stop. The other would be if you're pulling over because, you know, the police officer's behind you.
Sanjay Maru, CTV News.
This raises our question of the day. Do you hit the hazards on drive with your four-ways on when the bad weather happens? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked, is your car good in cold winter conditions? More than 500 people responded, 90% saying yes. With more on the upcoming road conditions, CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joins us now for our first look at the weather tonight. Gary.
Good evening, folks. We're talking about a couple of centimeters of snow. Big system, 2 waves coming our way. The closest one is over Michigan right now, and the next one on its heels moving through parts of Wisconsin and northern Illinois. Both will make track marks, if you will, with snow covering much of southern Ontario over the next 24 to 36 hours. Additional 1 to 2 centimeters. And then possibly an additional 3 to 5, all occurring this end of the week, and the weekend getting even colder than what we've experienced so far, bitterly cold. I'll break down what you need to know, look ahead, the long-range forecast coming up, the complete weather story. I'll have it in just moments. For now, I'll send it back to you at the desk.
And bitter cold and blasting winds turned a house fire in Amherstburg into a fight against the elements. Crews were called to Lakewood Drive Tuesday night with smoke and flames showing when they arrived. The Amherstburg Fire Department says the extreme cold made conditions tough, with gear, air packs and gloves quickly freezing over as firefighters worked. Despite that, crews contained the fire to the home, stopping it from spreading next door. The cause remains undetermined, with firefighters staying on scene for around 5 hours. And with the bitter cold temperatures settling in, a downtown Windsor nonprofit is asking for a little help to keep people warm. The Soup Shack on Goyo says it's run out of gloves and hand warmers just as temperatures drop and wind chills bite. The executive director says the need is urgent, especially for men's gloves, adding when supplies run dry, some people are left using socks to protect their hands. The Soup Shack serves up to 200 people a day, and donations are being accepted on site daily from 4 until 9.
Like this week was pretty cold, and next week is supposed to be worse. So, you know, like I said, we went through our last box last night, and we just want to be prepared for when they come in, and so we can try and accompany them as best as we can.
A block of Riverside Drive was closed for a short time period this morning, with police looking into a crash. Windsor police say it was a medical situation and it wasn't closed for long. Details are scarce, but at least one badly damaged vehicle was seen where Valera Avenue meets Riverside. EMS was on scene assessing at least one person, with the roads reopening around 10 o'clock this morning. A late-night traffic stop in Windsor has turned into a major drug and guns bust, with police laying a stack of charges. Windsor police saying officers seized a handgun and nearly $10,000 worth of drugs after a disturbance call early Sunday morning. A 21-year-old man and a 50-year-old woman were arrested, with police finding cocaine, meth, fentanyl, opioid pills, cash and multiple phones inside the vehicle. Investigators later linked the man to a separate road rage incident where he was accused of pointing a gun at another driver. Both now face multiple firearm and drug trafficking charges. A quick police response and a canine takedown after a late-night break and enter in West Windsor. Just before 3:30 this morning, Windsor police say officers caught one suspect at the scene on Sprucewood Avenue. Then Canine Link tracked down a second after a short foot chase. Police say the pickup used was stolen and with stolen plates, and both suspects are now facing multiple charges. More details can be found on our website. To Switzerland now, and the World Economic Forum, where Donald Trump delivered his own address, taking aim at our Prime Minister and reaffirming his Greenland ambitions. As CTV's Joy Malbin reports, the president insisted on taking control but promised not to use force.
The U.S. president arrived by helicopter, appearing before business and world leaders, stepping up his demand to own Greenland.
So we want a piece of ice for world protection, and they won't give it.
The president falsely claimed the U.S. owned the island, defending it from the Nazis during the war. It's Danish territory, but Trump wants it back. And now he's backing off his threat to seize the Arctic island using U.S. military might.
We probably won't get anything unless I decide to use excessive strength and force, where we would be, frankly, unstoppable. But I won't do that. Okay? Now everyone's saying, oh, good.
That hasn't stopped Donald Trump's Greenland ambitions, calling for immediate negotiations with NATO allies to annex the island. He threatened tariffs.
We have no interest in picking a fight, but we will hold our ground.
The European Union hit back, suspending ratification of a massive trade deal with the United States. But after discussions with NATO Secretary Mark Rutte coming to Donald Trump's defense.
And when it comes to the Arctic, I think President Trump is right. Other leaders in NATO are right. We need to defend the Arctic.
Everyone looking for an off-ramp to this crisis. Donald Trump posting on social media he won't impose tariffs now on European nations, reaching a deal, he says, with NATO. We have formed the framework of a future deal with respect to Greenland and, in fact, the entire Arctic region. The solution will be a great one for the United States of America and all NATO nations.
It's the ultimate long-term deal, and I think it puts everybody in a really good position, especially as it pertains to security and minerals and everything else.
Trump doesn't say if the U.S. will own Greenland, and no one knows what this deal means. But after being pushed to the brink, a sigh of relief.
If the deal here is that the United States can build up our military forces on Greenland, and there's a 1951 agreement between the United States and Denmark that prohibits it and permits it and welcomes it, that might be the off-ramp.
So from the brink of a potential military invasion to a possible trade war with Europe, some say Trump may have miscalculated. Others say there's now a future security deal in the Arctic that reassures this president. Joy Malvin, CTV News, Washington.
President Trump called out the Prime Minister by name in his speech, suggesting Canada lives because of the United States. With more on those comments and the reaction in Ottawa, here's CTV's senior political correspondent, Mike Couture.
I watched your Prime Minister yesterday. He wasn't so grateful.
The U.S. president with some tough talk for Prime Minister Mark Carney. It comes a day after the Canadian leaders spoke in the same room at the World Economic Forum, criticizing superpowers that use tariffs as leverage.
But they should be grateful to us. Canada lives because of the United States. Remember that, Mark, the next time you make your statements.
Donald Trump didn't say which statements, but Carney's speech urged middle power countries to act together.
When we only negotiate bilaterally with a hegemon, we negotiate from weakness.
Trump also said Canada gets a lot of freebies from the U.S., but it's unclear what he was talking about. Some Democrats say the comments about our country are unfair.
Canadians have followed us into every major conflict we've been in, whether we were right or wrong. This president has so disrespected them that they're now talking to China.
Carney wrapped up his trade trip to China and Qatar with a stop in Davos, but he didn't have anything to say about Trump's speech. In a statement, the Prime Minister's office told CTV News there are no plans to comment on the president's speech. The two leaders also didn't have any interaction while in Davos, which could be a good thing, according to this former special advisor on Canada-U.S. relations to then Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
Canada will be well served to have a more dedicated, specific conversation with the president or his team in the coming weeks and months, especially on the topic of CUSMA as we head towards a review deadline.
And there's little time to waste, as that deadline to decide what happens next with the trilateral trade agreement is July 1st. Mike Couture, CTV News, Ottawa.
I think the hardest part about counseling is starting.
Still ahead on Windsor's News Leader on Bell Let's Talk Day. We look at what mental health resources are available here in Windsor, Essex. And it's the steamy hockey show everyone's talking about, but there's more going on beneath the surface. A local researcher's take on heated rivalry. And tomorrow, the cost of compost. Essex residents upset after seeing the green bin bill. That's tomorrow at 6 on CTV News. Today is Bell Let's Talk Day, a day our parent company Bell Media focuses attention on mental health across the country. And one of the powerful voices in the conversation is CTV national news correspondent Paul Hollingsworth, who has a very personal story. And Paul joins us from Halifax tonight. Paul, you were a university student, this dating back to 1991, when your brother Bryce unfortunately passed away. First, tell us a little bit about your brother and your story.
Well, thank you for having me on the show. He was a good guy. He was a big presence in my life. He was a very typical older brother. We hung out together. He looked out for me. We shared a bedroom. We shared bunk beds. We cheered for the same teams. Pretty normal in hindsight, big brother, little brother stuff. His things changed for him in the late 1980s when he was in his teens. He started to change a little bit, quite a bit actually. He became a different person. He withdrew from friendships. He entered into a world of drug abuse, alcohol abuse, and it wound up on December 16th, 1991, where he took his own life, just 8 days before Christmas. And he's been with me in my heart ever since. And reacting to that moment in my life has been a big part of my story, and it's an important story, especially on a day like today. Bell, let's talk.
Yeah, and from your experience, what would be your advice to anyone, friends, family, who are dealing with a situation and know someone who might be struggling?
Well, it's a two-pronged answer to a very important question. First of all, if you are struggling and you are watching the show right now, there are people like me, like you, like all of us in the community who are here to help you, to talk to you, to listen to you, to help you regain some directionality in your life, to connect you with the 1-800 numbers, the talk lines, the professional help through our healthcare system that's available to you, the many organizations that are community-minded that are designed just to help people who are suffering from, a mental health crisis. For the people watching who have family members or friends who are in a bad spot, you don't know how to help them, keep trying, keep talking, don't let up, don't stop the effort. Make the connections, be a part of their world, help them with their story moving forward, because you don't have to have what happened to me 35 years ago where I assumed everything was going to get better. That didn't happen and the ending was tragic. I think there are opportunities with the stigma decreasing now that we can keep talking to people in a productive, meaningful way and pursue much happier outcomes here in 2026.
Okay, and we, of course, have more details about Bryce's story on our website, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Thank you so much, Paul.
Thank you very much.
Now, let's localize the conversation. Specifically, let's take a look at the mental health services available here in Windsor, Essex, with more information on this. Very important resources that we do have to talk about.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Stefanie. And to get this story going, one of the biggest barriers to accessing any kind of health care is, of course, expense. There's a Windsor counseling agency that offers affordable and pay-what-you-can mental health care. And the staff there take a moment once a week to create a social media post to help clients overcome the next biggest hurdle, asking for help in the first place.
The blank page before you, open up the dirty window.
Pure Mentality's socials are full of pure joy and truth.
We started a relational Instagram where we just talk about us being real people.
Once a week, the staff take a moment to record new content.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
It might seem silly, but the result is simple.
I think the hardest part about counseling is starting. You want people to come and be part of our family and to see us as real human beings, because that's going to make them walk through the door. And then we'll take it from there.
Counseling is as little as $25 for people with no benefits.
You either eat or you get counseling.
Right.
And that's not okay for us personally.
It's not okay either at Hotel Dieu Grace Healthcare. So patients can self-refer to a number of programs they offer.
Not everyone has a psychiatrist or has a family doctor who can diagnose these things, but we need to have accessible programs for people who are struggling.
DJ McNeil took a moment today to highlight a service that targets mental health disorders and addictions together.
If someone's experiencing, say, depression and overusing or misusing alcohol, or maybe they have anxiety and they're misusing benzodiazepines or opiates, the concurrent disorder program is one that would be a good fit for someone experiencing that.
For people with a doctor, many can now write a social prescription to catch a moment with the Windsor Symphony Orchestra.
A doctor might say to them, hey, why don't you try going to a concert? It's not going to cost you anything, and see how you like it, and maybe that'll help you to, get a little pep in your step.
Becky Ng believes patrons and the musicians who are performing can benefit from one another.
Research tells us that when you put strangers in a room together and they listen to a live concert, their brainwaves on an EEG are matching. So there is this level of connectedness, whether you know the person sitting next to you or not.
This is a good moment to remind our viewers and listeners, Windsor Essex has a 24/7 crisis phone line at 519-973-4435. Hotel Dieu also operates a crisis walk-in clinic 24/7 at the Olette campus of Windsor Regional Hospital, right beside the ER on Goyo Street. Stefanie.
It's one of those things that I feel like everyone knows someone who is struggling or knows of someone. And if you don't feel comfortable or you still don't know how to get those resources, you can try and find someone close to you who then can reach out for those resources.
Yeah, and trying to get this organized organized for the story today. I noticed there's a lot of talk about self-referrals, having somewhere that you can go when you urgently need help. There's also a lot of talk out there. If you know someone who you know is struggling, those people can call and make that connection and whatnot. So there really is a lot of options out there in the community.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you for bringing this very important information to us on Bell Let's Talk Day. Now, in addition to all of this, Family Services Windsor Essex is extending their clinic hours. You'll find the details and connections to all local mental health supports in one handy spot on our website. Again, that's ctvnewswindsor.ca. Stock markets bounced back after the American president said he would not use military force to take Greenland. The TSX was up about 100 points. In New York, the Dow added 589, the NASDAQ up 271. The Canadian dollar gained almost 1/10 of a cent. On commodity markets, gold is up almost $72 an ounce. Oil gained 26 cents a barrel. The Windsor Spitfires hit the ice tonight for a rare Wednesday game with a lot on the line. That's still to come.
Let's talk cold temperatures and more snow, very windy tonight into tomorrow, and getting frigid, in fact, even colder than we've experienced of late for the weekend. I'll break down what you need to know. It's coming up, the weather story, here on CTV News Windsor.
Yeah, that blowing snow, Gary, did cause a lot of trouble on the roadways.
It wasn't a great drive this morning. It was the slushy type of snow, and pardon me, ladies and gentlemen, I've been dealing with hiccups for the last week. They just come on out of nowhere. I am seeking medical attention for it. So I can't control it, but this is what's happening right now, just like I can't control the snow. But the worst of it is over with, and today was, in fact, a seasonal day. Temperatures reaching 0 degrees. That would be 1 degree above seasonal. Imagine that. We've actually broken the spell of frigid temperatures, relatively speaking, at least for a daytime high. Still cloudy with some light flurries. It feels colder than 0, 7 below. In fact, our normal high for this time of year is 1.1 degrees Celsius. The air quality is good today in the green zone, 3 on a scale of 1 to 10. The lower the number, the better. But the winds have certainly been a big part of the weather story today. We're talking about gusts in the 50 to 60 range. We are still looking at a very windy evening, and that certainly factors into how it feels. 0 degrees both at the airport in Windsor. That's 32 degrees Fahrenheit. 0 and 32 at our weather station in the great town of Chatham, Ontario. It feels like about -6 to -7 in extreme southwestern Ontario. A bit colder as you head north and east of us towards London, Kitchener, Waterloo. Feels closer to about -9, -10. It is cold across the northern latitudes of our beautiful country, as we would expect, and that cold air has filtered south and encompasses much of our country. A good 95% of our country is at the freezing mark or below today. Wow. That's impressive. Most of the worst snow is well to our north and east, as mentioned. Travel along the 401, the 400, the QEW. Not great drives in and around the Golden Horseshoe, but this system, the next one that's moving in with flurries through the early morning time frame, will likely put down the worst of these bands of snow just to the north of Chatham-Kent and further east towards our friends in London, Kitchener, Waterloo. It is cold tonight. -2 feels closer to about -8 to -10 at midnight, about a 40% chance of flurries. Take a look at our Enercare-style 7-day forecast. I'm calling for -5 tomorrow. Flurries, windy, 1 to 2 centimeters. And then sunshine Friday. Fair weather Saturday, -12, -14, then -9, -8, -9, -5 as we look towards Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. In and out of some cloud cover with some sunshine and flurries, no less.
It's the show everyone's talking about, and now researchers at the University of Windsor are weighing in on the phenomenon of heated rivalry. The show follows gay hockey players balancing pro careers and their personal lives, and researchers say it's doing more than just turning heads. Psychology professor Donna Menard says the series offers rare representation of queer joy in sport while also modeling consent and safer sex in a positive way. She says that kind of visibility can shape attitudes and help young queer athletes feel seen, even as real-world pro sports continues to lag behind.
So I think hockey lovers can find stuff to enjoy. I think certainly LGBTQ audiences love to see themselves represented on screen. I think for youth who are coming up through hockey programs, it's the possibility that they could be authentically themselves is something that they're probably enjoying.
From high school basketball to the Olympics, a lot of familiar faces from Windsor, Essex, reaching new heights in the world of sports. We'll talk it through. Still to come on the sidelines.
We're on the sidelines tonight with Bob Belichico. And Bob, you have Spitfires and college sports, but there was a big game last night on the high school scene.
Oh my God, the energy at Kennedy High School last night was awesome. Clipper Dome was packed, the house was rocking. The Clippers hosting Holy Names in a matchup of powerhouse teams. It was a tight game, but one player has now inserted his name into the conversation for Mr. Basketball. Check it out. Clutch. That guy right there is Manny Dakby. Back-to-back clutch shots by the grade 11 student. 11 of his 18 in the fourth quarter. None bigger than those two shots that helped Kennedy take control of the game with under 2 minutes to go. The Clippers went on to win 73-66 and are now 8-0 heading into the exam break. The Knights fall to 6-2. Spoke to Manny after the game and asked him what it felt like during that stretch of the game.
I love being in those moments because I never really had the opportunity to be in it in a really big setting. I would have it in some small private runs with my friends, but I never really had it in this type of setting.
What was that like?
It was amazing, honestly. I don't know what to say, but just a great feeling.
It was just a tough environment, but I think they're good. They're a really good team. They pressured us a lot. They're very athletic, but I just think that it's not as important that we play our best today. We got to play our best to come playoff time, and we're going to learn from this.
8-0, nice. It's also a big weekend for the Windsor Spitfires, starting tonight in a rare Wednesday game.
Yeah, kind of not used to, a game on a Wednesday, but nonetheless, it's here. And yes, definitely a huge stretch for the Spits. They have Kitchener tonight, Flint for home and home this weekend. Both teams loaded up before the trade deadline.
Back down low, Walton scores!
Now, how's that for a sweet goal? Bar down, Connor Walton getting the job done. The Spits are going to need lots of that in the next 3 games. The Rangers come in as the 2nd seed in the Western Conference. Flint visits the WFCU Center Friday before hosting Windsor on Saturday. Now, Windsor is 1 point back of the Firebirds for the top spot in the West Division and the Western Conference. After dropping their first big test after the trade deadline against Brantford, Windsor is looking for a strong showing this weekend.
It's a measuring stick weekend for sure. I mean, they're good teams. Flint's really good, obviously. We've been flip-flopping with them from 1st to 3rd all year, but obviously Kitch, we know what happened to Kitch last year, so yeah, measuring stick for sure.
We're chasing Flint right now, and then Kitchener's obviously bought us the deadline too, so I think we just need to take it one game at a time, and I think we'll be just where we want to be at the end of the year.
Obviously battling for first in the conference in our division as well, so those are huge games for us and a big week, and it all starts today.
Now, I bet fans are wondering what's going on with Anthony Cristoforo. Now, he's a defenseman or is he a forward? We don't know. Cristo was back up front last weekend and scored a pair of goals in Erie. Head coach Greg Walters tells me Cristo has bugged him for 2 years and would say, hey, coach, if you need a forward, I want to play. Well, that time came just before the Christmas break with Spellacy and Greentree gone for the World Juniors and injuries, so coach moved him up front. Cristoforo responded with 3 goals and an assist in his first game as a forward on December 18th against the Sioux. You might see him up front more often.
If you go to the net, you can score, whereas a D-man, you're in front of the net trying to get guys out of there, so it's a little different. But yeah, playing forward, it's definitely different. But I mean, I love it, and I would love to continue to play both.
Talked about Cristo a lot. His hockey sense is his biggest attribute, and he's able to play forward and play D. We put him sometimes on D. We play him 4-on-4, and he's able to adapt, which is nice.
It's going to be a fun weekend. Now, how is this for cool? Former Windsor Spitfire Cristiano Di Giacinto has been chosen to play for the Italians at the Winter Games in Milano Cortina. Buona fortuna. Good for him. What an opportunity for DG.
It's such an amazing opportunity to be able to be called to a national hockey team to play for a country I'm currently living in and for my heritage is from, and it's just surreal. It's awesome. It's exciting, and again, still kind of in shock, but I'm looking forward to it.
You've been to Cortina. We got to talk about that after. Now, Cristiano was a 4-year guy here in Windsor, winning the Memorial Cup in 2017 with the team. He currently plays for HC Bolzano Foxes in Italy and had a game today, actually. He still calls Windsor Essex home and lives in Amherstburg during the off-season.
I'm excited to hopefully represent Windsor Essex in a good, positive way, and represent Italy and show a lot of young kids and athletes who are striving to play at the highest level, that with a little hard work and dedication, that things can go your way.
Great message right there. Now back to the hard court. The vibe is going on at St. Clair. The men's team is making a move up the standings after a weekend sweep. That is so good. Let's see that again in slow motion. Troy Neckers with a nifty pass to Masotti. St. Clair had a big tilt against Mohawk last weekend. Both teams were 9-2 heading in. The Saints took care of business in a convincing way, getting it done against the Mountaineers, 93-77. 7 players were in double digits scoring. St. Clair is on an 8-game heater right now.
All we want to do is win at it. So if next week, if we beat Humber, we beat all the teams, all we need to worry about is next week. Once we beat Sheridan Humber, I'm not really worried about Conestoga and Redeemer. But once, if we go undefeated and a team lose on the East, we do have a chance of hosting. But honestly, 1 game at a time, Next week we got to get through Sheridan, then after Humber. But Humber, we're ready.
They are looking good, too. Now, here's something interesting to note. 7 of the 13 players on the roster came out of Kennedy. That program did some good things. 4 are from the Toronto area, 1 from the U.S., and the other from La Jeunesse High School. The Clippers connection is easily seen on the court. There's always one of them on the floor. Devin Fikes, Musatia, Masotti, Troy Neckers, Andrew Loya, Kyle Vasikas, Brown, and Abbas I'm going to kill this one, Al-Adani are big-time players and a large part of their push for a championship this season.
We're on a little winning streak right now and a little heater, and it's because of a lot of those Kennedy guys, so they've been really good. So it's nice having them, and I mean, you can see the camaraderie is good between our team right now, and we're really embracing each other.
Props to Pat Osborne for teaching us all, But it's a good program. St. Clair treated us good when we were in our prep season. We always practiced here, we had games here, and it's just from Kennedy to St. Clair, feels like home.
And it is an important weekend at the University of Windsor. It's a pink out at the rink and at the gym.
Yeah, it's going to be a busy weekend over at the university for sure now. Saturday is the big day with 3 games going on, all for a good cause. U Sports is hosting Shoot for the Cure. The 19th annual Breast Cancer Awareness Day has raised over $2 million for research over the years. Commemorative Lancer breast cancer T-shirts will be available to buy at the games this weekend. Hopefully you can make it out to one of them. Women's basketball is at 4 against Toronto. Men play at 6 over at the TLC. That place always rocks. And women's hockey takes on Laurier at the Capri Recreation Complex at 7:30.
affects us indirectly and directly in the Lancer community, in the Windsor community, and we're grateful to be hosting such a great event. Cancer has affected me personally in many ways, and I'm happy to be here to support a good cause, and we're excited to play.
And we're inviting you to come and watch our game. The more people who come, the better, to help raise money for a great cause, and we love playing in a packed Lancer gym.
Yeah, I'll definitely be there at one of them anyway. I don't know if I can make all three, but I'm definitely going to drop in at one of them.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah, and then Olympics. You want to talk about Olympics?
Yeah.
You've been to where? Cortina?
Cortina, beautiful area. I'm so excited for this player. You know, it doesn't matter whether you're on Team Canada, Team Italy. It's just the fact that he's going there. It's going to be such an experience.
What an opportunity, too, right? Like, you go and you play pro somewhere in a different country, and you just, you know, your roots are in Italy. He goes back home to play and makes the national team. Like you said, you just never know where life is going to take you. Just stick to it and things will work out, you know?
Yeah, like I'm not a hockey expert by any means, but I know everyone has their eyes set out on the NHL, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't mean that your career can't continue. And in Italy, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
You know what? Chantal Valet said it to me one time, and I'll always remember this, and I tell a lot of athletes the same thing. Shoot for the stars, and no matter where you land, you'll land somewhere good, and just enjoy where you land.
Yeah, enjoy the journey. Great advice.
Amen.
Bob Belichico with On the Sidelines tonight. Thank you, Bob.
This is your CTV Windsor Our Community Calendar. The hospice invites you to savor the sea, delight your taste buds with an extravagant feast for seafood lovers and land lovers alike. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Melanie Kentner. Melanie, today a very important day, Bell Let's Talk Day, and we have a lot more about the mental health services that we have right here at home.
That's right, Stephanie. There is a 24/7 crisis line and walk-in clinic here in Windsor for anyone who can't wait for support. For people who need guidance or advice or someone to talk to, but not in an emergency, there are counselors like those at Pure Mentality. They offer pay-what-you-can counseling based on your benefits or lack thereof. The #1 piece of advice from one social worker is don't be afraid to try different counselors until you find one that you like.
Make sure that you are asking about your counselor, talking to your counselor, looking how they present themselves. Make sure that you click with them. The therapeutic relationship and your healing process is going to be so much better if you vibe with your counselor.
We've put together a list of all local mental health agencies in one article on our website, ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And we also have an online story for anyone who's actually interested in becoming a volunteer firefighter.
Yeah, that's right. So active recruitment for volunteer firefighters is now underway in Amherstburg. The Amherstburg Fire Department has 10 full-time staff and about 60 volunteers. Fire Chief Michael Mio says they're looking to add about 6 to 10 volunteers. The posting closes on February 8th. You can find the link to apply on our website. And in our social spotlight, if you love the snow and cold, you're not alone. The team at Cochrane's Ontario Polar Bear Habitat shared this magic moment. Henry the polar bear playing with a pumpkin in the snow. The habitat pumpkins can be both for food and fun by the looks of it, Stephanie.
Yeah, he looks like he's really enjoying it. I wish I had that type of fur just to go outside in the weather that we're dealing with.
Yeah, no kidding.
But yeah, he looks comfortable. He's having a blast, enjoying the snow. I'm ready and willing to do that as soon as the temperatures just come down.
A little bit warmer.
Just a bit, yeah. Okay, if anyone has a video they want to share with you, how can they do that?
Yeah, they can email us at newsnow@bellmedia.ca or text it to 10400.
Okay, thank you, Melanie. Still ahead, dazzling displays in the skies the past few nights. Have you seen the northern lights this week? Folks in Greenland sure did. Yeah, I was going to say a lot of close calls earlier today, but there were several accidents. We really have to be cautious. I leave so early. If it takes me, like today I had to go somewhere, it took me 20 minutes. I left 40 minutes early.
Smart.
Grabbed a coffee, took my time.
That's smart.
Yeah,
I mean, take your time and just be courteous out there, right? I mean, one of the best ways to ruin a day is to get into a car accident. literally. So we don't want that, obviously. A couple of things to point out, 3 things, in fact, with our Enercare style 7-day forecast. We're going to get colder, 1. There's some snow, 1 to 2 centimeters involved with our forecast in the next 24 hours. And 3, we'll actually see some sunshine Friday into Saturday. Note the temperatures -5 tomorrow, 1 to 2 centimeters, and then -12, -14 Friday, Saturday, and then -9, -8, -9, -5. So again, our average high is -1. We're not really close to that, and it's going to be several days before things normalize.
Okay, finally for tonight, the Northern Lights have been quite active recently, with folks on social media claiming to spot them in the county last night. None of those pics quite like these images, though. Take a look. A dazzling display was caught by an airport camera in Western Greenland this morning. The sky was seen illuminated by green lights for at least an hour. The aurora borealis results from solar storms emitting high-speed charged particles colliding with gases into the Earth's atmosphere. The northern lights usually occur near the Arctic from around September through April. Gary, gorgeous. And I know you have a million facts to share with us right now.
I mean, I'm a big fan of space weather, which that is. And there are some wonderful free websites, of course. Just Google Aurora Borealis, and it will take you to the northern latitudes in our country, where some wonderful photographers have also captured the beautiful sky vistas, and they are spectacular.
So many great resources. So if you missed it, don't worry. There's other access points. On behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca.
Gary and I will be back with your only local newscast tonight at 11.
See you then.